Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this virtual event on Afghanistan's mining sector as part of the 2021 PDAC convention. Let me thank you all for joining us today. I wish to commend the PDAC leadership for their excellent efforts in adapting this year's conference in light of the pandemic, allowing participants to be connected virtually for discussions, networking, and future investment and collaboration. The mining sector in Afghanistan is rapidly growing and full of exciting opportunities for investors from all around the world. As a member to relevant international platforms and in line with our commitment to EITI standards, Afghanistan is dedicated to responsible and transparent development of mining and investment in this sector. More specifically, our close bilateral partnership with Canada as a world leader in mining and a consistent development partner for Afghanistan opens new opportunities for bilateral cooperation and joint investment in the mining sector. And I am pleased to inform you that a collaborative series of bilateral information sharing sessions on the mining sector has been initiated recently. In addition to this, we are exploring the possibility of having a foreign investment promotion and protection agreement with Canada. Facilitating business-to-business and public-private partnerships, especially in the mining sector, stands as one of the top priorities of our embassies and consulates around the world, including here in Canada. With an enabling investment environment in Afghanistan, our mining sector presents an exciting opportunity with a high rate of return for investors. We remain committed to facilitating reciprocal trade and investment missions and providing any required support and services in this regard. As I conclude, it is my pleasure to introduce His Excellency Minister Chekhansuri and Deputy Minister Zaki from the Ministry of Mines and Petroleum of Afghanistan, Mr. Sakhel, Senior Advisor and Head of the Legal Unit of His Excellency the President, and Mr. Ata Nasib, Director of Afghanistan Investment Facilitation Unit, will present to you our vision for sustainable and responsible utilization of our natural capital, an overview of Afghanistan's world-class mineral resources and the associated investment opportunities, and our efforts in establishing an enabling environment for private sector investment in the mining sector and the implications for potential investors. Our event will also feature messages from investors. With this, once again, thank you all for joining us today, and I wish everyone a productive conference this year. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, friends. Afghanistan is endowed with abundant natural resources that remain largely untapped. The country offers a wealth of opportunities in iron, gold, copper, chromite, lithium, gemstones, marble, oil and gas, among others. The government of Afghanistan is committed to open an accountable mining and hydrocarbon industry, as it represents the largest opportunity to increase economic growth rate in the country. To capitalize our natural resources, we have taken a number of initiatives, which include the release of mining sector roadmap, new minerals law, new hydrocarbons law, and prioritizing various areas of interest in the mining and hydrocarbon sectors. These steps, as well as the transparency initiatives, will set the foundation for the growth and development of Afghanistan's extractive industry for decades to come. The long-term goals of the government are establishing an effective mechanism for governance of natural resources, as well as encouragement of private investments in the mining sector. The mining sector roadmap that was developed in 2017 provides the base for the development and governance of Afghanistan's mining sector. The document focuses on 4 major areas. 1. Prioritizing mining projects. 2. Reforming regulatory framework. 3. Supporting private sector. And 4. Ensuring community engagement. The new minerals law and hydrocarbon laws helps the government in creating a strong legal foundation that is sustainable for the development of Afghanistan's extractive industry. The new laws outline an effective governance system to ensure our mineral and hydrocarbon resources are governed in an efficient, transparent, sustainable, and accountable manner. In the new minerals law, we have focused on providing a clear and streamlined approach for the tender process, classification of the mining areas and licenses, and decision-making process. We have also clarified the royalty regime and placed the royalty rate in the law to provide greater clarity to the private sector to promote higher levels of investment in Afghanistan. Our hydrocarbons law is passed to regulate the hydrocarbon sector. As a result, we have created Afghanistan's Oil and Gas Regulatory Authority to manage the hydrocarbon contracts. Our Ministry of Mines and Petroleum will focus on policy issues of this sector. We have conducted an initial assessment of our probable and proven minerals and hydrocarbon reserves. While we will continue our geological surveys for the remaining areas, however, we are working on an integrated geological information management system to make the information available for the private sectors and investors. The mineral resources studies include geological mapping, analysis of rock and sediments, samples, airborne geophysical surveys, and systematic geological exploration. I thank all investors for attending the virtual session on investment opportunities in Afghanistan extractives industry, and would like to invite you all to further explore our mineral and hydrocarbon resources through B2B sessions with our experts. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Atiq Zaki, and I am the Deputy Minister for Policy and Facilitation of Extractive Programs, Ministry of Mines and Petroleum, Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. My presentation is under the title of Afghanistan Extractive Industry, Development and Opportunities. In this presentation, I will cover the following 5 sections: Introduction, investment opportunities in the mining sector, investment opportunities in the hydrocarbon sector, tendering process, and business environment. Afghanistan has large amount of mineral and hydrocarbon resources. These deposits are largely untapped, which consists of iron, copper, gold, coal, dimension stones, cement, rare earth, and other minerals, and hydrocarbons. The government of Islamic Republic of Afghanistan aims to utilize these vast amount of mineral and hydrocarbon resources to pave the way for long-term economic growth. The mining sector of Afghanistan has promising potential for generating revenue in order to transfer the country from aid dependency towards self-reliance. The government of Afghanistan is focusing on creating sustainable, enabling environment for foreign investors in the extractive industry. Later, Mr. Ata Nasib will provide more details on business environment and foreign investment facilitation. The Ministry of Mining and Petroleum has developed a number of documents to attract foreign investment in the extractive industry. These documents include, but not limited to, mining sector roadmap, mineral law, hydrocarbon law, and a number of bylaws and procedures. We are also undergoing significant policy review with the goal to create sustainable, enabling business environment for the private sector. In the next 3 slides, I will cover the investment opportunities in the mining sector. The first commodity is iron. Around 100 occurrences of iron ore have been identified in Afghanistan. Total iron deposits are estimated to be 2.5 billion tons. Based on rough estimates, the value of Afghanistan iron ore deposits is $420 billion. Copper. There are 7 main copper occurrences in Afghanistan, including Ainak in Logar province. We have provided 3 copper locations ready for investment. Gold. On gold reserves, 112 gold occurrences have been recorded. We have identified 4 locations here open for investment. The next commodity is coal. Coal resources are located in 16 provinces of the country. We have identified 5 provinces in this presentation ready for investment, with a total estimated deposit of over 850 million tons. Our preliminary analysis shows that Afghanistan can generate 3,500 megawatts of power from coal. Cement. Afghanistan annual cement production is around 450,000 metric tons. The annual demand for cement in Afghanistan is nearly 4 million tons. These figures show that 11% of total internal market demand is produced in Afghanistan. The remaining 89% of cement is imported. We have identified 3 locations here for potential investors with a total estimated deposit of around 4 billion tons. The next commodity is marble. This is one of our internationally famous commodity which has many different varieties. Afghanistan has rich deposits of exquisitely colored marble. As you can see, we have selected 4 locations for potential investors with a total estimated volume of 232 million tons. Gemstones. Afghanistan is famous for its gemstones, such as lapis lazuli, ruby, emerald, tourmaline, aquamarine, and nephrite. The locations are scattered throughout the country. These resources need to be prospected, and there is great potential for investors in gemstone. In the next slide, I will talk about the investment opportunities in the hydrocarbon sector. This slide shows 5 hydrocarbon basins in Afghanistan, namely Afghan Tajik, Amu Darya, Helmand, Katawaz, Koshka, and Tirpul hydrocarbon basins. The Amu Darya Basin. With an estimated area of around 57,000 square kilometers, the basin is divided into 6 blocks. Aerial and seismic surveys were carried out on 500 geological structures. Exploratory drilling was performed on 64 structures, out of which 8 structures has commercial gas fields with a total reserves of around 141 billion cubic meter, out of which 76 billion cubic meter of gas have been produced. This means there is an enormous amount of gas reserves available for investment. Afghan Tajik 2 Basin. This basin covers an area of about 31,000 square kilometers and divided into 12 blocks. Based on surveys, this basin is predicted to be a productive oil and gas basin. 2 blocks have been awarded and 10 blocks are ready for tendering. Later, I will talk about tendering process and special investment opportunities. Katawaz Basin. This basin is ready for aeromagnetic and gravity survey. The survey contract process is completed. Koshk Tirpul Basin. We have the seismic exploration survey of this basin included in our current year's plan. Helmand Basin. We have the geological survey of this basin included in our current year's plan. The next section explains the tendering process. There are 2 tendering processes for minerals and hydrocarbons. As you can see, 6 steps are shown for mineral tenders, but basically there are 4 to 5 steps, starting from announcement by the ministry, then evaluation by the Mining Technical Committee, approval by either a High Economic Council, National Procurement Council, or Cabinet, and finally awarding the contract and granting the license by the ministry. I would like to point out here that among High Economic Council, National Procurement Council, and Cabinet, the approval of 1 or 2 institutions is sufficient. Second is the tendering process for hydrocarbon. It has 6 steps, starting from Afghanistan Oil and Gas Regulation Authority, called OGRA. Then the Cabinet approval is required, followed by negotiations conducted by OGRA before it goes back to the Cabinet for final approval. Then the role of MOMP comes into play, which is the signing of the contract. As the final step, awarding the license and execution is the responsibility of OGRA. This slide gives you an indication of the ring road, dry ports, and airports in Afghanistan. This slide shows Afghanistan's existing under construction and planned railway networks. This slide shows Afghanistan's current and future power system. The final section is the business environment. There are several factors that make Afghanistan a favorable destination for doing business in the extractive industry. Number 1, attractive or fixed fiscal regime in the hydrocarbon sector. Number 2, the cost and time of issuing a business license is significantly reduced. It costs less than $2 and just 8 business hours to get a business license. Number 3, the royalty rate for mining projects is fixed in the mineral law based on best international practices. Number 4, to encourage foreign investments, the government allows 100% carry forward for losses and 100% profit repatriation. Number 5, the government of Afghanistan is interested in government-to-government collaboration both in the mining and hydrocarbons projects. Please note that special investment proposals can be considered and we can enter into direct negotiations with the private investors on mining in hydrocarbon projects. Last but not least, we provide on-arrival visas for foreign investors. With this, I will conclude. We have uploaded the mining booklet, economic outlook, and brochures for your information. Please feel free to drop us an email to invest@momp.gov.af if you have any queries and need more information about Afghanistan extractive industries. Thank you.
Excellencies, respected colleagues and participants of PDAC 2021, good afternoon, everyone. It is a great pleasure to be talking to you about investment in Afghanistan. My colleagues talked about available investment opportunities in the extractive sector, the legal framework, and the reforms that have been implemented in the past years in detail. I will try to focus mostly on the current business environment and the role Investment Facilitation Unit in promoting and attracting foreign direct investments. In line with His Excellency, the President of Afghanistan's vision and our development agenda, attracting foreign and domestic direct investment is the government's topmost priority. There are several factors that make Afghanistan a favorable destination for doing business in the extractive industry. The geology of Afghanistan is fascinating and the business environment is improving. To further develop business environment for the private sector, the government is striving to improve Afghanistan's ranking in doing business indicators of the World Bank. We have tried to make starting business, getting permits, registering properties, and other administrative processes as smooth as possible. To encourage foreign investments, the government allows 100% of carry forward of losses and 100% profit repatriations. The cost of getting a business license has been reduced to $1.4 US, and the investors can get a license in 8 business hours. We have also revised our visa laws. Now investors who are interested can get on-arrival visas. To talk specifically about the mining sector, the royalty rate for mining projects is fixed in the mineral law, which provides greater clarity to the private sector, who can now place bids and develop investment plans with the assurance that the royalty rate is set and cannot be easily modified. We are also working to build our soft and hard infrastructures to make the investment climate more favorable. Precisely for these reasons, and in order to streamline business processes, the government established the Afghanistan Investment Facilitation Unit in December 2019. IFU is mandated to implement and support government's investment programs and to provide a compatible environment for foreign and domestic investors by advocating for investors, helping investors, getting necessary approvals, removing obstacles, and providing support, service, and facilitations for investors. Since the establishment of IFU, we have been able to implement several investment agendas, including facilitation of discussion and negotiations of 4 new power purchase agreements, some of the biggest in the country, representing a total of $160 million of investment and about 110 megawatt of green energy generation capacity to be added to the national grid. In the mining sector, jointly with the Ministry of Mining and Petroleum, we were able to invite Fortescue Metals Group Limited, a global leader in mining industry, to Afghanistan. Currently, the Ministry of Mining is engaged in studying several mining projects with Fortescue. We hope we would be able to sign contracts with Fortescue for exploration and exploitation of mining projects soon. In conclusion, let me state that With the continuous undertakings of the government, Afghanistan is becoming a business-friendly environment. Considering the geographical location of Afghanistan, connecting South Asia with Central Asia, and being the center of many transnational projects, Afghanistan can become a potential hub for investment in the region. Our mineral resources are bankable geologically, and the business environment is improving. Afghanistan Investment Facilitation Unit is here to facilitate and provide guidance and support to all sorts of investors. I thank His Excellency Minister Harun Chakhansuri for his valuable work in the past few weeks since he took over this portfolio, and I thank the PDAC community for the opportunity to speak with you today. I look forward to working with some of you closely and to hear your feedback on how we can help, improve, and provide critical investment support to our partners. Thank you all for your attention.
It is a great pleasure to attend the PDAC 2021 and discuss the investment opportunities in Afghanistan's mining sector, and it is a lucky coincidence for Afghanistan since sustainable, standardized extraction of minerals resources are His Excellency President Ashraf Ghani's top priority in the coming 4 years. Today, I would also like to take this opportunity to talk about the legal unit of the President, which I am heading, and the legal framework in the mining sector. The legal unit of the President was established based on a presidential decree. This unit works to represent the Afghan government in all legal matters, especially in the economic sector. This unit also deals with all legal complaints by the contractors against the government. Based on His Excellency the President's vision, we have reformed our minerals law, which addresses mineral ownership, eligibility for obtaining minerals rights, types of mineral rights, decision-making process, and bidding process. Finally, and most importantly, we are working to better reform the mining sector to further simplify the procedures, processes, and provide for an easy and transparent extraction of mineral resources in Afghanistan. Thank you and have a great day ahead.
Hi, I'm Andrew Forrest, Chairman, Founder of Fortescue. I visited Afghanistan in September 2020 as part of a global trip to secure large-scale renewable energy and industry opportunities across the globe. I already knew that Afghanistan holds significant deposits of natural resources, but I didn't expect a government and population so ready, so motivated, and so capable of committing to and achieving rapid economic growth. The deposits of copper, iron ore, lithium, rare earths, sulfur, chromite, potash, talcum, graphite, sand and gravel, everything you need to build a country, or many countries, 20 mineralized areas, and there's so much more to discover and explore. Afghanistan's geographical location has the potential to link markets of South Asia, the Middle East, Central Asia, and China. There's a reason why it's called the Heart of Asia. These rich mineral deposits are in addition to large-scale, valuable raw water resources that can also be converted into energy and income for the country and form part of a renewable energy future for Afghanistan. Look, for too long, mineral and renewable energy resources of Afghanistan have been locked up. They've been held hostage to decades-long conflicts that has devastated the economy, and more importantly, the proud and, I can tell you, hard-working people who have such a rich history of production and trade. But if Afghanistan is able to successfully extract its mineral resources and utilize its renewable energy assets, then the people of Afghanistan can share in a prosperity, a future that is sustainable and capable of lifting the standards of huge numbers of the entire Afghan people. That's the vision that I share with those Afghan people. And the opportunity is enormous. When I arrived to meet with President Ghani, I quickly realized that he's leading a government and a people excited for new opportunities. I saw a government with endless enthusiasm to get projects moving that would benefit its citizens. I met Afghan people who were hungry for a chance to work with us and to provide a future for their children. So, I left Afghanistan with a huge sense of optimism. I was optimistic that the will of the Afghan people could be harnessed to develop world-class renewable, mining and energy centres of global scale. I was optimistic that with courage and determination and capacity, like Fortescue and yours, we could help transform this country. Fortescue is a leading player in energy and resources with an ambition to drive global green industry across the world. This optimism is why I entered into hard agreements with the Afghanistan government to explore some of the available mineral resources and renewable energy sites. It's why I committed to hiring an exclusively Afghan operational workforce to build Afghanistan's future. And it's why our agreements ensure objectives for the eradication of modern slavery, equal opportunities for girls and boys, men and women, equal education outcomes for boys and girls. It won't be easy. It'll be tough at times, and there'll be failures and setbacks. Of course, there is on the road to success. But the will of the Afghan people, the support of the Afghan government, and the strength of Fortescue Future Industries and your companies, we can convert that untapped potential of Afghanistan to the reality of a great and prosperous future of this great country and your investments in it. Thank you.